Good afternoon and welcome to Obidatti Family TV. This is Obedient Women and I am Sharon Enemchuku. I am joined by Mr.
P. Catch. You are welcome to the program today.
Okay, so on the Obedient Women show, we talk about the involvement of women in the obedient movement and generally the Obidatti campaign. And joining us all the way from Poland is Miss Ngozi Onwumere. Welcome, ma'am. Okay. All right. So you're joining us from Poland. How long have you been in Poland, ma'am?
6 months, I guess. I can't really recall because it's a long time.
Okay. It's nice to have you on the show. We're going to be asking you a few questions and we won't take much of your time. Are you an obedient woman? Of course.
Yeah, definitely. Do I have a choice,
you really don't. Yeah. Okay, so is this your first time being actively involved in Nigerian politics?
Yeah, my first time being involved in politics, anything politics.
Why?
Because of P2B, actually. P2B is the only reason I am involved in politics. So if P2B wasn't running, I wouldn't even know there's There's politics in Nigeria, and I wouldn't even know what's happening in the political space. So
okay. Oh, so before that means you're saying that you've not been involved in politics in any way, maybe voting or any of that. Okay. No. Shout out to Mr. P2B for that. So have you been able to join any support group? Because I know it's not been very long since you got to Poland.
No, I didn't join any support group. I just try to do the little I can for P2B online. So that's what I mostly do now. Yeah.
Online, I see how a lot of people have used the social media and the online space to promote the Obidatti movement. And so how do you support online? When you say online, what do you mean? What platform are you using?
Oh, on Twitter, yeah. So
okay, on Twitter.
Yeah. So I support on Twitter, yeah.
So what exactly do you do on Twitter? How have you been supporting the movement?
So majority of the time I'm on spaces, canvassing for funds, especially like getting crowdfunding. That's what I do most times, crowdfunding, get to hear people's opinion, finding solutions to people's INEC problems and the rest of it.
I like that. Thank you. What can you say about the involvement of women in politics? Because like you rightly said, this is just your first time being actively involved in Nigerian politics. And I can assure you that you're not the only person. So the whole trend of women being actively involved in Nigerian politics today, what do you have to say about that? Do you also believe that it's because of Mr. P2B that these women are now involved in politics?
Women have been involved in politics, but I think P2B actually brought out more women in politics, and this time the good women. It's like before we had women that were not so good in politics and they were doing it for their own personal benefit. But now we have women that are involved in politics but don't have any what's the right word? They don't gain anything from this politics,
Yeah, except for the promise of good governance, of course. I wanted to ask you, we've seen how in Anambra State, when P2B was the governor, and how he had a lot of women in his government. Do you see women holding key positions when he becomes president? I mean, we can already see, I think it's an expo on how his government is going to be. We can already see from his spokesperson how 3 of them are women. Do you think that is going to replicate in his style of governance when he becomes the president by God's grace?
Yeah, he already said it that women tend to actually are less corrupt. So you can see that he's involving women. He wants more women to be involved here.
Okay, but why do you think it has taken women this long to be actively involved in Nigerian politics? Or what has been keeping them, what has been keeping their back on the ground, to say?
Maybe because there are no good people, Peter B is the only person, and women have this really strong instincts. If they don't like you, they don't like you. So probably don't like every other person. So that's why.
Okay, I think I understand that because I know women are moved by their emotions and sentiments, and I understand that perfectly. So we've already talked about Mr. P2B having women as spokesperson, and on today's topic, we're actually looking at these women, the women behind the Obidatti campaign. We've seen how, like I said earlier, 3 of them are women. We have Indicator, we have Aisha Yusuf, and we have Nana Kazari. Let's take a look. I mean, you must have followed this women in the course of your participation for the Obidatti campaign. Let's talk a little about Indicator. She is an activist, political analyst, and now a spokesperson for Mr. P2B. Let's talk about how her influence has actually affected the ongoing campaigns.
Okay, so Indicator. The funny part is that I didn't really know so much about her until recently, and I saw one of her tweets and I was like, who is this? And then I found that she's actually a spokesperson. I'm really bad when it comes to knowing people, but I can see so much of her influence in the southern part of Kaduna, and I'm seeing like so what she has done and how she was able to mobilize her people to come out and for this Obidient rally in Kaduna. So I see most of our stuff, and I know that she's doing a great job in this whole movement. Yeah, I admire her work. Yeah.
Okay. I also want to bring to notice how the Obidatti government is just going to change a whole lot as it concerns women's involvement in politics, because I've already said about Miss Indicator repeated the same fact that one of the reasons that women have not been actively involved in politics or government is because of the cost, and how she also gave herself as an example when she was running for a political position in southern Kaduna, and how she had to sell her car and sell some personal belongings, and she left poorer than when she embarked on that political journey. Now let's look at how Mr. P2B, from your own opinion, how do you think Mr. P2B is going to make politics or the political environment more friendly to women?
Firstly, he's going to, when you reduce the cost of governance, you have less people that want to even govern a state or a local government. So there'll be less people that will be willing to govern the states, and then you have people that are willing, that really want to work for the government, that would actually go for this position. And when you have people like that, you won't spend like so much money trying to bribe people. Most of the money going to bribing of people, getting so many people for the rally, that's where their funds go to. But like when you have people that are willing to work without the bribing and corruption, then you cut this expenses when it comes to going into politics, especially for women.
Yeah. Of course. I'll allow Pikash to ask this question now, because we'll be going on a short break after you do that, Pikash.
Okay, Ngozi. So the Obidient movement has been characterized by it's a youth movement. A lot of young people are involved, in the movement, and they call themselves Obedients. Which a huge part of this, the young people are women, young women like you. Okay, you said earlier that you before now that you were not involved in politics, and it's because of the candidacy of Mr. Peter Obi. Okay, that's what has made you come into politics and interested in governance. Do you think that this is coming late? Okay, do you think that maybe we should have gotten involved earlier than now? Probably the level of decadence and the way things have come down in the country, it wouldn't have been this bad if we had participated earlier. Do you share this opinion?
I think it's just the best time, because if we had gone earlier, we still had the bad people in power. So it's just still going to be the same thing, because we won't even be able to have women, like good women in politics, because there are so many women that are actually senators and the rest, and you can see what they're doing. Like if you look at Remi Tinubu at the moment, you know what she has done. So we have women in politics, but we've never had good women in politics or good people in politics. So I think the best thing is to actually change the system before you can actually have the good people in politics. That's, for me, that's it. This is the best time to actually be involved in politics, when you have a good person.
Okay, I totally agree with you. And we'll be coming right back to discuss more on some of these women who are in key positions in the Obidatti campaign. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back.
Hello, this is my message to the Nigerian youths. I am glad that we have this great opportunity to discuss about the future of this country, Nigeria. Nigeria belongs to all of us, but to the youths most especially. I am super proud of what the youths have done, the realization that indeed the power lies with the youth. Indeed, successive governments and leadership have failed the youths. They've dismissed their capacity, the creativity, innovation, and this is why we are where we were. I am here to speak to you that not only am I proud of you, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, is super proud of you. We are proud of the movement you're leading and all the sacrifices being made for a better Nigeria. I can tell you, Peter Obi means well for Nigerian youths. He will run a youth-inclusive government and purposeful leadership that will usher in a new dawn for generations to come. Job issues, unemployment, and indeed all the other hazards that we face as a younger generation, I believe will be a thing of the past, at least reduced significantly. I'm here to remind you that we are the last lap of this race, when we all need to come to the consciousness that the effort we're going to put in the next coming weeks can change our trajectory completely and positively. So I want to urge you, do what you can to keep on the fight until a better Nigeria is achieved. You need to make sure that you realize again that you're actually the one running for presidency, just using Peter Obi and Dati Baba Ahmed as symbol. We are coming for a better Nigeria. This is time to vote for Labour Party. The logo is Papa, Mama, Pikin, or LP. On that day, come out in mass, show your energy, show your creativity, do everything you need to do positively to make sure your votes count. That means wait until the end. I am thankful to God for what the Nigerian youths are doing. God bless you all. Thank you.
Okay, welcome back from that short break. This is still Obidatti Family TV, and the show is Obedient Women. I am Sharon Enemchuku, and this is my co-host, Mr.
P. Catch.
Okay, we've had with us Miss Ngozi, and we've been talking about women's involvement in politics, and especially the Obidatti campaign, and how women are becoming more and more involved. We've looked at some of the spokesperson for the Obidatti campaign, and we've been asking her questions. Welcome back, Ms. Ngozi.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so you mentioned that you're in Poland, and because you've been there for a few months, you've not been able to join any support group yet, but you've been active on social media. Am I right?
Yes, yes. Yeah.
Okay, so what are you doing to mobilize people for the elections? I mean, people in your family that are still in Nigeria and that have their PVCs, what contributions have you made to support them, if any? Because we need young women to also see that there's something that they can do to champion the movement, whether you're in Nigeria or in diaspora.
Okay, firstly, I made sure that everyone got their PVC, so my family have their PVC, and I also make sure that the materials, every time I get materials, I make sure that the materials are sent to my local government. So I'm always tracking the materials around my local government. I pay for the delivery of this material to my local government, also try to produce for my local government. And so because it's actually a very APC local government, so it's quite difficult. So
what local government is that, sir?
That's Badagry local government in Lagos.
I didn't get that.
Badagry, Lagos.
Okay, Badagry.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you've been making sure that they have their PVCs and all that. That is really commendable. Thank you very much. Okay, now let's look at the person of Nana Kazari. She is a spokesperson for the Labour Party. I don't know if you've heard of her, but she has also been very active in the campaign and in the Obidient movement. And there's something that she said that I would want to get your opinion on. She said in an interview, she mentioned how the top leaders are always trying to oppress those that they lead, but now they are pushing back and they are in charge of who leads us as a people. So what I'm getting from this is I'm seeing the involvement. I'm seeing the need and the hunger for change, especially in the youth, in Nigerian youth. And I want to ask you, people have said a lot about how this is a youth-driven campaign. Do you agree with that? And what do you have to say about how youth are very, very involved in the elections?
For me, it's a youth-driven campaign because this whole movement started from the youth. It started from the NSAS. And for me, it's a youth-driven campaign. And the youth are actually doing a whole lot for this movement. You know, the NSAS was just the main factor in all this. Without the NSAS, there wouldn't have even been this Obidient movement. So the NSAS was what motivated most of the youth to go into this whole movement. And sorry, I didn't get the second part of the question. I'm trying to recall, but my
okay. No, it's okay. I'm just asking you what I think you've already answered that question, and you mentioned how the answers actually prompted this movement and the anger that the youths are feeling right now. And I also want to contribute that I also think it's because of bad governance, and it's because of the kind of injustice that has been dealt us. Okay, so I agree totally with that. Now let's also look at another aspect of this, which is the women. We've seen how women have been particularly and emotionally attached and invested in this election, because you said something that women work with intuitions, and I really want us to touch on that a little bit. What is it about Mr. Peter Obi that appeals to women's intuition?
He's a good man. You know, when you see a good person, you get attached to this person. So women, they love good people. We all love good people. So when we see a good man, you know, we get attached to this person. So for me, Peter Obi reminds me so much of my dad. So every time I see Peter Obi, I'm like, oh, this man reminds me so much of my dad. He had like my dad. And when I got to really, really know and hear him speak, I was like, okay, this is the right man, because I have a figure that I'm looking at, and he represents this figure I'm looking up to. So that's just for me. That's it.
Okay, so Mr. Peter Obi reminds you of your father. That's really touching. It's your okay. I want us to also look at how Mr. Peter Obi doesn't just appeal to our intuitions, but he has the antecedents to convince us and to persuade us into why we should choose him as the right man for the job. Okay, I mean, talking about when he was the governor of Anambra State, and we've seen the things that he has done. We've seen what he has been able to achieve in Anambra State within a short period of time when he was the governor. Now, my next question is about the let's say, by God's grace, of course, we believe that he's going to become the president of Nigeria. What does that say about how do you think that is going to affect not just Nigerians, but Nigerians in diaspora? How do you see his win affecting Nigerians in diaspora?
Okay. Firstly, your passport will be respected. That's the main thing. You're traveling from one country to another, and then they just see this passport and they are all angry at it. And then you have to bring like a resident permit or something to show them, and then they feel more comfortable with the passport. But without that, your passport is almost useless. You go to the workforce and then you get the least job. No one cares about you. You're from the third world country, no one cares about Nigeria. So this would actually boost our confidence, and even when we're abroad, because most of us are just like laying low. We don't want to do this, we don't want to do that, because we're so scared, because they don't respect Nigerians, and we need that respect. So we need them not just to respect Nigeria, but to respect Africa and the Black race as a whole. So that's it. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. I want to know, why do you think it's important that we get it right this time in our elections, voting in the right person for the job? Why is it important at this particular time?
It's important because from the prices of everything, we can see that Nigeria is sinking. You can see that the youths are not even productive. You can see the high use of the high drug rates, the high jackpot rates, and the whole stuff happening. There's a disconnect. One family is in another country, the other family is in another country. And then the kids, their offspring, will not even know who their relative are. It's just a disconnect happening in the whole of the country. And there's no better time to have the best candidate than now. There's no better time for us to be respected than now. So for me, this is the best time to fight and get back our country, because we have no other country at the end of the day. No matter how much you even go out and stay out, no matter how long you even live outside the country, Nigeria is still your home. And for me, that's the goal, like to get P2B there. And this is the right time. There's no better time to do that.
Yeah,
and it's the right man.
Yeah, I agree with that. I couldn't agree more. Okay, so you're in Poland now. Let's be a bit practical. What would you like to see P2B do? I mean, when he becomes the president of Nigeria, what would you like to see happen in Nigeria that maybe is already happening in Poland? What would you like to see change in Nigeria, be it economy, health, whatever? What is it for you that you'd like to see change in Nigeria?
I will just be a little bit selfish here, because I'm a researcher, and the research institute in Nigeria is dead. And I think it was in 2020, someone said they used how many billions of naira to mass produce kilishi. We're wasting so much money doing nothing. There's so many research, people are doing a whole lot with research, and we are nowhere close to research. And for me, research is like the main thing I'm looking forward to in this P2Bism and this P2B's governance. I want him to win, and then focus on also research, because we have a whole lot to do when it comes to research, like the oil spillage. There's a lot of research that can go into that. Even farming, green farming, a whole lot of research. And we have we have what's the green land, where we can also use what we have. So we have everything we need to make this country better, and P2B is like the right candidate to do it. So for me, it's research. I just want research to work. So just being selfish.
I can see you're passionate about that, and I love the transparency. The Obidatti movement is all about transparency. We can see from our principal, he's transparent. So I appreciate and I applaud your transparency. And of course, I believe it's going to happen. I believe you're going to see more research institutes, and maybe you can come back to Nigeria.
Okay, so definitely. I want the research. Oh my God, I love research. So I just want the research institute to work, and it's going to be very beautiful to do research in Nigeria. Very, very beautiful, because you have all the natural stuff, the biomass and everything to do research. So.
Okay, I see how you're very passionate about research, and of course, like I said earlier, I want to see that happen for you and every researcher out there as well. All right, let's also now come down to the elections. It's just in a few weeks, actually, and it's happening on the 25th of February. We've seen some videos, some very disturbing videos of how there's been a bit of chaos, not chaos per se, but there's been a little bit of, running helter-skelter in different words and polling units. Do you see that being a factor that would affect the turnout of Nigerians come February 25th?
I think Nigerians are too angry not to come out. Nigerians are so angry. We're all angry, and we would all come out. It's like, what they say about where one madness and the other one starts.
One starts.
I'm sure Nigerians are prepared for anything, any form of violence. They are all prepared for it. Mm-hmm. So everyone's coming out. I believe Nigerians are coming out. And you will hear, if you're like on ground, you will definitely hear people saying this. We're coming out. We don't care.
Yeah.
It's about time to get back our country. Yeah? So Nigerians are really angry, and they will definitely come out. I trust them.
Okay. It's the I trust them. I like that. I love the confidence. Okay, so we're going to be taking a short break so that we let you drink water. When we come back, we'll continue.
All right, thank you.
Labour Party, Labour Party, Labour Party, Labour Party, LP, can you get a vote? Labour Party, Labour Party, LP, can you get a vote? Labour Party, Labour Party, never say, Mama, Papa, now want to be Labour Party, Mama, Papa, now want. Mama, Papa, now want to be Labour Party. Mama, Papa, now want to be Labour Party.
Okay, welcome back from that break. This is still Obedient Women, and we've had with us Miss Ngozi all the way from Poland, and my co-host is still here.
Yes, I'm still here.
Mr. Pikat.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've been talking to Ms. Ngozi, and she's shown us how passionate she is about research. And I'm hoping Mr. Pitobi sees this video, so he in the research institute industry who wants to see difference, who wants to see newness happening in that area. So, all right, we're going. But before I let you go, Ms. Ngozi, talking about the forthcoming election on February 25th, and you've mentioned already how you trust Nigerians and how you believe that they are going to come out no matter what for this election. And I think I also buy into that trust. This brings me to my next question. We've seen the youths become very emotionally invested in this election. And you've already mentioned how Mr. Pitobi is a good man. And before now, like you rightly said, you've not been in politics, you've not been involved in politics before. And we've seen that truly good name is better than riches. So would you say that Mr. Pitobi antecedents, I mean, let me not just give you an idea. What do you say gave Mr. Pitobi an edge? What would you say gave Mr. Pitobi an edge over his opponents or rivals?
His competence gave him the edge. His competence, his antecedents also gave him an edge. Like, can see from how he even. I've had him told you about how I noticed. And I think it was in the early 2000s when he was governor of Anambra State, and then you could see that you couldn't even go to all the way, because I'm from Abia, and I couldn't go to Abia State. Once it's past 5, I can't even go to Onitsha. I have to sleep in Asaba. And so seeing all this, and then he cleared the whole road, and you can actually travel that far without even stopping. So when I saw all this, I was like, okay, this is the best man, because we're suffering. We have like insecurity in the northern part of Nigeria. And Pitobi knows how to deal with insecurity. So his antecedents will definitely speak for him, and it's speaking already for him. So we can actually see this, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Thank you very much. It's been an amazing time. It's been refreshing having a young mind's view on the politics of today. And we see your efforts all the way from Poland, and we cannot thank you enough. So on behalf of myself and Mr. Pikat and the entire Obidatti Family TV, we're saying thank you. God bless you and keep up the good work.
Thank you so much. It's nice being here. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay, so we've had Miss Ngozi on the show, and it's been refreshing, it's been insightful, and we love to see it. We love to see young women becoming more and more invested in Nigerian politics today, and we like to see them contribute, because for a while now, Mr. Pikat, we've seen that the affairs of the government or the affairs of the state, we've seen them not show enough interest. We've seen them not show enough concern. But now, like she said, because of Mr. P2B, we're seeing that changing. We're seeing that evolving. We're seeing women becoming more and more invested. And we cannot be happier at this moment. So before we round off, what would you like to say to any young lady right now who isn't part of the Obidient movement or who isn't involved in politics yet?
Okay, like Ms. Ngozi stated earlier, it's about the candidates now. The candidate, Mr. P2B, people believe in him, and she classified him as a good man, who she said reminds her of her father, by the way. So when you see a good leader that is that has that bright ideas, that has a vision, and that is going somewhere, people want to follow. It's not difficult to follow someone that has vision. And that's what was lacking in the political scene in Nigeria, according to what Ngozi pointed out. So Mr. P2B's candidacy now has brought back hope to a lot of young Nigerians. And like she stated also, it's also a spill-off of the NSAS protest. And people now see that they have a voice and they can make a difference. Okay, so every young girl, every young lady out there that is still waiting to be forced into the movement, you should know that it's your future that you are fighting for. We are fighting for a better Nigeria. Ms. Ngozi is in Poland trying to go do some education, okay, and research work over there. This is something that we can actually do in Nigeria. If we work on the educational system and build it up, okay, people would come into Nigeria so that they can also acquire knowledge. So we should build our country. We should all be involved in making a better Nigeria, in creating a better Nigeria. So it's our responsibility as citizens of this country to make Nigeria better. Participate in the elections. Go out there, pick up your PVCs, just in case you haven't done so, and get ready to vote. It's coming up on the 25th of February. That's this month. Okay, so get ready to go out and vote and secure your votes. Okay, secure your votes and play your role, play a part in making Nigeria a better country.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you very much. That was well said.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to throw in a little bit, because according to what you've said, we're seeing that women are now more involved, and it's also because of the candidate, Mr. P2B. It has not happened before because we've not seen a candidate that we felt comfortable with. We didn't see a candidate that was trustworthy and worthy of our involvement. But now we're seeing Mr. P2B, and we have hope. We have hope for a better Nigeria. So I think my message to every Nigerian youth and Nigerian woman, young or middle-aged or old, is that, like Pikash rightly said, you should play your role. I think what has kept us back as Nigerians is the fact that we're always thinking that Nigeria should be fixed by those in top positions, that they should be fixed by leaders, without knowing that we have our own roles to play as people and as citizens of this great country. There is so much potential in Nigeria, so much that we can accomplish, so much that we can change as as a people if we stand together. So on that note, we are going to wrap up this episode and we're going to call it a day. It's been an amazing time, P-Catch, and it's been an amazing time with Miss Ngozi. Do not forget to follow us on all our social media platforms. We are at Obidatti Family TV on Instagram, Facebook, and the rest. I am also on Instagram and Facebook as Sharon Enemchuku. What about you, P-Catch?
Yes, you can also follow me across all platforms. The handle is at official P-Catch, official PKACH. That's it.
Okay. All right. That'll be all for now. Till we see you next time. Have a good day and bye.
Bye.